Hi, my name is Joi Lake, and Evan Carmichael was really nice and gave me permission to rebroadcast the audio of our Built to Serve Insider Zoom calls that we have each Thursday, and I'm going to color and pray. I hope this brings value to your life, and thank you for joining us. Here we go. Let's see, audio.
Happy Thursday.
How's it going?
It's Thursday, right? It is Thursday. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Every day's Monday, man.
Every day's Monday. Every day is a great day to have a great day. Let's go.
Amen.
I love it. Here's Zen, Belinda, Terry, Mary, Tess, Sandra in the house, Sarah, welcome. All right, well, let's do it. I started this group to bring some extra value to readers. You know, it's important to me that people who read the book or picked it up did something with it, you know, and how many times you buy a book and just sits there on the shelf. So yes, put it on the shelf and let's go and take some action. Andrew, welcome aboard. Rocking the hat today. I like it. So as always, we take the topic you guys voted on and then throw it over to Q&A. And Zan's going to continue the session after. How long are you going for it, Zan? Till noon your time?
Almost noon, maybe 5 minutes before.
12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. So today's question was, let me load it up here. It's about the who. About the how. Let me find it again. Here it is on this side. So Oliver asked, how to define your why? And that was what everybody voted up the most. That's one of the main reasons why I wrote the book, guys, because so many people kept coming up to me saying, how do I find my purpose? How do I find my why? What am I supposed to be doing? I don't know. I'm stuck. I'm struggling. And when I was on tour in 2019, when I started writing the book, that was what kept coming up. Even though I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about something else. The theme of the tour was something else. But that was the number one question I kept getting asked. So that's one of the main reasons why I wrote the book. And the why is fairly simple, and I'll do high level. I'm happy to talk about it in more detail with you guys, or if you have other questions. But your why is your purpose, and your purpose comes from your pain. So for the people who heard me say this message, you know, a million times, it's a good reinforcement. You know, like, why are you doing the thing that you're doing? Well, it's because you're helping the people who currently are who you used to be, right? Like I'm 41 years old. I still make videos for 19-year-old Evan, who owned 30% of a business and was making $300 a month and just was struggling and quit on my business partner. And just there's so many people out there right now who are struggling with the same thing. And we are built to serve, and we love helping people. And you know how good it feels to lend a hand to somebody, but the people who you love helping the most are the people who are currently struggling with what you struggle through. That's your why, and that will never get old. And I think a lot of us feel like it's hard to do when we feel like we're not done, right? You still have places to grow, you still have things to learn, you're nowhere close to being, you know, who you want to be, and you look at people who are ahead of you and think, wow, look at all they've done, I'm not good enough, who am I to be this person sharing a message? And that imposter syndrome kicks in. But like I always say, you can't help the person who you used to be, the person you were 5 years ago or 10 years ago. You can help them. You have a message that can help them, that can serve them. And there's so many people out there that need your help, that need your voice. You don't have to be Tony Robbins or Oprah. You know, you could probably help those people in the way that Tony Robbins and Oprah can't, because you've been through things that they haven't been through. And I don't know how many times I've answered that question, and I've answered it multiple times per week on my IG stories, and so many times every day in the comments. And it's still a great reminder just for myself that every time I can tap into thinking about 19-year-old Evan, it just makes the content better. It makes the message better. It makes my videos better. It makes my writing better. I was just writing emails today. We're creating a new campaign for movement makers, and went through, 40 pages of emails, maybe more. Pablo, where were you this morning, dude? Pablo, it was all about you, man. It was your topic. Pablo was great. So Pablo's part of Brandlytics. I have to call out Pablo because he voted on our topic today for Brandlytics and then did not show up. But we had a great session. The recording's there in Brandlytics. We talked about how to use ads to grow your channel, which I don't think I've ever talked about, at least in a condensed format. So we used your channel a bunch of times. You can go check that out. Some good information there. You better watch the replay, Pablo. You better watch the replay. I want an update from you because we made that one for you. Client problems with the chili. They're all good. I know. Pablo's all love, man. Anyway, so went through 40 something pages of emails today that we're planning on sending out to different groups, and still, like, when I'm at my best, it's still remembering 19-year-old Evan as opposed to just being here in my office another day. So the more you can connect back to who you used to be and the problems you faced and the struggles you were going through, the easier it is to have a more powerful message and to feel more confident and comfortable in that what you're doing is right. So that's my little quick riff on why, and maybe told it in a slightly different way because I know you guys are a little more hardcore and are used to hearing me. And love to throw it over to you. Questions, thoughts, how we're doing, how can I help, perspective. You can just raise your hand like this, or you can use a little hand raising thing in the chat box, and we'll get to as many as we can. I saw Yair's hand go up first. It is dark there, man. It is dark. Thank you for joining us. What do you got?
Hey, hello everyone. Hey Evan. Yeah, I'm just transferred, so I went out for like half an hour for join. So I have a question about belief.
Mm-hmm.
You always talk about belief, and I'm currently trying to help a person that is going through like serious depression. She wants to allow people, and I'm trying to all the regular stuff, nutrition, exercise, different health stuff. I'm not able to get her to believe in herself in a way that she even talks about sometimes. Doing things that we shouldn't do. So how do you get someone to believe in themselves? Because I know you do that. That's like your core, your method. But when they're not seeing themselves worth of anything.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think something that everybody can relate to, because as we all grow and learn and get better and improve and read, we naturally just want to help the people around us, right? You want to share it with people, and then we're frustrated when they don't pick it up. A couple things come to mind. First off, a lot of times them just talking to you is already a big step. Like, don't judge the size of their step. You're capable of taking bigger steps now because of how much you've learned and grown. And we often get frustrated by the size of somebody's steps. Like, why are we still here? But what you're not recognizing is that, like, they've taken a little tiny step. And that little tiny step is actually huge for them. It's just tiny in your world. So even them just opening up and sharing that they don't believe in themselves with you is probably a huge step. Even some of the conversations that they've had with you about their journey in their life, maybe they've never shared it with other people ever in their life, but they've shared it with you. And I'm talking about your friends specifically, but also in general, everybody, when we try to help the people around us. Just their willingness to share is already a huge step that we just discount. We say, okay, yeah, and let's go and do this next. But that's a giant jump that like they can't even see that as possible. And so we think that they're not making any progress, but really in their world, they actually have. And so it's just that compassion and understanding for where they're at. Some people you need to crawl with. Some people you can hold their hand and cross the street, and some people are ready to take big leaps and jumps. Like when I did to Pablo at the beginning of this session, where I was kind of hard on him, like, Pablo, like, you better go watch the thing because we made that for you, man. It's because he's already an achiever and he can handle a bit of a push. If that was somebody who I didn't know, I would never go that hard on them because that could shut them down. They could see that as judgment. Your love can often be seen as judgment. You wanting them to grow so much could then feel like that's not possible, and now they don't feel connected to you anymore because every conversation is just a push to do better and they feel not good enough. I'm not saying that's what happens right now with you and your friend, but that happens a lot where we end up pushing the people we love most away because we just see great things for them, but they feel judged. They feel worse about themselves now hanging around you because you have expectations that they feel like they can't live up to, right? this is a big, conundrum. So step one is understanding that listening alone is tremendous value. Just listening to your friends, listening to them, giving them a chance, giving them space to be themselves and to share where they may not have been able to do that ever before is tremendous value. The next thing I'm doing is, we went over this in my, we haven't actually gone over this. We didn't do this in Mover Makers, right? How to coach the uncoachable? We never did this.
No.
We never went over how to coach the uncoachable. Wow. We did a 2-part series I've never done a 2-part series in Mover Makers, but we did one on coaching.
Please do it.
And I said an option. We guys didn't vote it up. There's an option to do a third of how to coach the uncoachable that just never got voted to the top. Anyway, okay. Well, this is a bit of a preview. The next step is to allow them to unburden themselves. That people feel so caught up in the weight of their life that they can't make any progress. They're just carrying too much on them, and so they can't go forward because they're weighed down by the past and all the decisions that they made. So they'd rather not look at it at all, which leads to tremendous lack of belief, to your question, at the top. So they need to be unburdened before they can move forward. So some of the language that I use, if you look at my homepage, you'll see some language that does not speak to achievers. Like the first thing it says at the top is, it's not your fault, right? Of course it's my fault. What? Where I'm at is my fault, right? Like that, but that's achiever talk. To people who aren't achievers yet, they need to be told that it's not your fault. And the difference, how I really fought hard with that internally. How do I do this? Because I would have a hard time getting through to the non-achievers yet. It's not your fault, but it's your responsibility, ultimately, to fix, right? Like where you're at now in life is not your fault. Stuff happened to you, okay, but it's your responsibility to fix it. And where you are right now doesn't have to be where you end up. So some of the key things that you can do, instead of the push, because the push is not what somebody who is, if they're on borderline depression, a push is not what they need. That's not going to help them at all. They need compassion, they need understanding, they need a friend who's going to listen to them. They need support. They need you to lead by example. What you're basically doing is living your life and shining your light so bright, and you're looking for an opening. This is the key, because they're going to have a moment of weakness in their own insecurity. We see like, I see what Yair's doing. I see what Zane's doing. I see what Andrew's doing. I see what you're doing. Like, how do I get that? You need them to come to you. You need to live your life, not judge them for their life. You can't, and I know you're not judging them, you're loving them, but it's interpreted as judgment. Not judge them, not give them advice. You need them to come to you and say, how do I do this? And it will happen. If you keep loving them, supporting them, and you keep living your life and doing the things that you're doing, there will be a moment when they come in and say, Yair, I'm stuck. How do I do that? And that's the moment that you do something. That's the moment that you not just tell them what to do, but then you do something together. You help them take the first step and realize that it's not so scary. So like, Yair, how do I make a YouTube channel? Like, let's do it together right now. Pull out your phone, let's make a video together. Not just give them advice on like, read these 3 books and go do this thing, like an action plan that makes sense, because then tomorrow they're gonna wake up and it's gone. So whatever they wanna do, while you have that permission to actually do a little bit of a push, because they've asked, you do something in the moment. You make a phone call, you go to the gym, you do the video, like whatever the thing is that they're struggling the most with, you do it in the moment. And it's frustrating and requires a lot of patience, because we see them hurting and you want to help them, and you know the world that exists out there for them. But it's a slow, long, patient game. Just like you used to be, right? Like all of us, we weren't as growth-minded as we are today. You know, you've had the good fortune over the past 5 years to learn, to study, to read, to watch videos, to go to conferences, to be around awesome people, and you've learned a lot. And you're a lot more open-minded. Like, how many people are more open-minded today than you were 5 years ago? Right? Yeah, I mean, me too. So you're more willing to take bigger steps. But earlier on, you weren't. And so it's just having that patience. So that's a little preview. That's a good starting point. I went maybe a little long on that question, but I like it. I'm passionate about it. I don't know why, movement makers, you haven't voted up that topic. Come on now, we'll make it happen at some point. But anyway, I feel for you, and I felt the same thing for the people around me as well. And that's the short answer to people doing. Powerful. That's your next book, Evan? Maybe. How to Coach the Uncoachable. It's why I changed my entire website around. And just like last quick little story, like if you go to Brendan Burchard or Tony Robbins, the people who I love, their websites, you see people dancing on stage and jumping up and down, and we love that as achievers. But to the non-achievers, they look at that and think that's some cult. If you just joined some cult, you're crazy. What are you doing there? You're an adult. You don't jump up and down like it's a seminar. You're gonna bounce like a rock star. Like, what are you doing? You're crazy. Where I don't want to. I love talking to those people, but I want to talk to I want to solve the world's biggest problem. I have to be able to talk to everybody. And so the website, if you look at it, is designed to be able to spread that message, right? It's not your fault. Here's everything I struggled with as well. But
you're talking about your YouTube channel or what?
No, my homepage. Just go to my homepage, right? Another great line is like, you did the best you could with what you had.
Yep.
Because as soon as you judge him, said, well, you should have done this, and you should have done that, and you should have done that. Like, I'll tell Pablo, you should have been there this morning, right? And it's fine. But I won't tell that to somebody who I don't know, or somebody who's definitely on the outside, because they don't need more judgment. They already hate their own life. They don't need somebody else judging them and telling them all the reasons why, they're not winning. Anyway, that's a test. That's the taste. That's a little taste. I'm deeply passionate about it. I love like.
I'm ordering your book already.
Right.
I'm ordering the book.
I don't know if that's a book. We'll see. We'll have to do a movement maker session on it first. Then you got to make that happen. But I'm deeply passionate about it, and I love taking on somebody's worst. Like, bring me your worst. Bring me the worst non-believer in your life, and let's go. Like, those are my favorites. Well, we'll get them moving. All right, let's anyway, thank you for the question here and for joining, at this late hour. Let's move on. Belinda has her hand up. What's up?
Yes, I have a question about outsourcing your video editing. You talk about that a lot. Can you give an example of how you outsource for somebody like me? Like, I can make the videos, but it takes a lot longer to actually outsource. So what would be your advice?
So we'll go over super quick. We did a whole movement makers on it that I would ask Yelena for the link back to, about system and tools, all the tools I use, how we hire, all the back end, all that stuff. But basically, I realized I suck as an editor, and I didn't want to get better at it. It's like I'm not passionate about editing. I did all the first ones, not all of them, but a bunch of them myself. My friend Mark helped me film a couple of them. But I hired a part-time editor at the beginning. I used Upwork. We still use Upwork. Most of our team is on Upwork. We'll post a job that connects to the mission. So Christina has been my main video editor for I don't know how many years now. And when I posted it, I said, I'm looking for a video editor who believes in entrepreneurs. That was the title. Video editor who believes in entrepreneurs. And then the whole opening was just all about the mission, what we're trying to do, accomplish, why I do what I do, etc. And my goal was to weed out the people who didn't think that was cool and to weed in the people who loved it, right? So some people look at that and say, well, believes in entrepreneurs, that's stupid, right? Like, I'm a video editor. Like, great, like, don't apply. We're not going to have, it's not a good fit. And other people, it's like, that's amazing. I can't wait I'm going to work extra hard. And you know how little effort a lot of people put into their resumes and applications. They see video editor and boom, apply. Meanwhile, you take 5 to 10 minutes actually looking at the resume. They spent 8 seconds applying. So, you cut some of that out. And Belinda is the HR specialist for everybody watching, so she knows this game very well. My editor, Christina, had Believe actually tattooed, or does have it tattooed on her arm. Before we even, not because of the company, like she had that before we even connected. or she wanted to have a tattoo in her arm. I forget which one. But anyways, like when she wrote her first email to me, it's like, I love this message. I love what you're doing. I gave her a trial job, and she put in way more work than I asked for. I asked her to do it in my style, and she did it in my style. And then said, I did it in your style, but your style kind of isn't very good, so I did it like this. I was like, that's so much better than what I did. That's great. And ever since then, she's been on the team. Then we hired her husband, Sam, so both of them are full time. And then we hired 2 other video editors, so we've got at least 4 editors now on the team. Yeah, so it's starting off. I love Upwork. You can use something else. Trial job, see how you work together, leading with the mission. You want somebody who believes the same thing you believe, but just has a different skill set, editing.
The dog next door wants to play.
I'll record my videos off of this camera or off of my phone, depending on the day. Pop it in the Dropbox. That gets uploaded to her. She does all the stuff she needs to do, and then the team will take care of everything else. The team, right now, I mean, we've got almost 40 people on the team, so it's a machine, I guess, now running everything. But my team basically has everything ready for me in Evernote, so I know what videos I'm recording, when it's going out, what the title, thumbnail ideas are. I still have to record, but it's all set for me. I don't have to think about all of it. And then after I record, everything else is taken care of, from the editing to the publishing, the thumbnail, title. My team takes care of all of that. It used to just be Christina. So I would record, and then she would edit, upload, title, description, thumbnail, etc. That was fine when I wasn't posting that much, but now we're doing 20 to 30 videos a day. So it's just beyond one person to do. So that's the process.
Follow up, real quick question. When you first did it, did you look at the videos? Did you watch them after she first did it? Or you just trusted that it was good to go?
No, I watched it, especially if we're trying, even now we're always testing new things. And so I'll watch those ones. And I like watching the videos too, because I learn from them. Like the top 10 videos are in my playlist still now, because I like them every day. I don't necessarily watch my parts back, like Espresso videos or Meant to Be Evans or whatever, because hopefully I know what I'm saying, and but sometimes I get inspired by myself too, watching it back. Oh, that was pretty good. Yeah, okay, no, I like that. But yeah, I think like anything else, you manage the process at the beginning until it's set, and then I'll often come back in. I think like most entrepreneurs, we come up with the creative ideas, so it works for a little while, and then they just run with the same thing. But then I'll come in with the new, like, okay, let's try this time, and let's try that, and here's a new idea I have, and they may not hear from me with new ideas for 3 months, and then I go on some crazy spur, like, this is what we need to do now, and then we go and test it out. So yeah, at the beginning I looked at everything, and now much less so, but I still love a bunch of the content. I still watch a lot of it. But the team, it's not now, it's watching it because I enjoy it, less I'm checking for mistakes. And I think that's also part of just hiring for the right vibe. I hate micromanaging. So if you are making mistakes everywhere and you need to be micromanaged, it's not going to be a good fit, right? So if you're not getting the work done on time and you need somebody hovering over you, that's not happening, because I suck at micromanaging. I love leading and guiding and mentoring and all that, but not micromanaging. So it just depends on the type of boss you want to be too.
Thank you.
Real quick, Monique, what do you got? And then we'll hand it over to Zan.
Can you hear me?
We got you.
Awesome. So this is my first one, actually, so I'm kind of excited.
Ooh, Monique, welcome aboard.
I just finished the book probably about a week ago, and I put a question in the group because I figured out my how and my what, but I'm having a really hard time connecting it to my how. I mean, my what and my who, but I can't really figure out a how that I feel like is going to be something that I can do that's going to be like career-wise.
Well, what did you struggle with, and then how did you get out of it?
So I've struggled with a lot. Like I can't really nail it down. Like I've had a lot of adversity in my life, and my words came up as belief, tenacity, and authenticity. And then my other words were shame and comparison. And I've been in the network marketing and the sales space for probably 20 years. And that kind of is in that culture, right? So I'm trying to figure out a way to bridge my experiences to something that I really want to wake up and do, because I'm no longer at all passionate about what I'm doing. I feel like it's just something I'm doing. I'm going through the motions. And I know that I'm meant to use this. I just can't figure out how.
So how did you get out of dealing with shame and comparison and guilt?
I mean, a lot of self-development work and a lot of retrospection and self-realizations and a lot of taking responsibility. But I've always been kind of a driven individual. I'm one of those people that just kind of the get shit done girl. So I have that personality behind me, and I have that little bit of strength that I'm stubborn. And I don't know if that, like you were talking before, that doesn't relate. My personality, I feel like I have a hard time relating, because I'm not in that. I've never really been in the place where I believed it's my fault. I may have felt like that, but I never believed it, if that makes sense.
And listen, you don't have to target everybody. I want to solve the world's biggest problem. I have to go help everybody. It doesn't have to be for you. If you love helping stubborn people get unstuck and move forward, that could be the thing that you do.
Well, I think when I look at it and I boil it down, and something that's really been kind of, and I'm not really sure how to go about it because I don't know how they work, is I've always kind of been known, like you say, being a beacon. Like, a lot of people will come to me because I'm very transparent, especially through Facebook, of my struggles, my life. I've been very open because I know that someone may read it and then not do something stupid or have a better day. And so I feel like this conversation isn't being had enough with women, but I'm not quite sure how to bring that out. And I don't know if a YouTube channel is better or something like a podcast would be better, or how that relates to actually having a career. I don't know that I want to go into coaching, let's put it that way. I don't think that that's my passion.
That's fine. You don't have to go into coaching. It's thinking about your personal development journey helped you. Amazing. There's a lot of things that you tried that didn't work, and a couple that did. There's a lot of books that you read that were kind of a waste of time, and a couple that you pulled a few nuggets out, and a couple that were amazing and worked really well for you. There are events that you went to that some worked and some didn't. As we all go on our journey, there's things that we try a whole bunch of things, and most of them don't have any kind of meaningful impact. But that's part of the journey of trying a bunch of things. And especially if you didn't have a guide or somebody helping you to say, hey, Monique, go do this thing. You could be that person for other people. Where the things that work for you, people who are like you, will resonate really well with it. So you can shortcut their path. Instead of it having to take 10 years to get there, you can help somebody get there in a couple months. Where you want to apply it could be anywhere. You could apply it to network marketing. You can apply it to women entrepreneurs. You can apply it to teachers. You can apply it to anywhere you want. What industry are people caring about guilt and shame and comparison? Like every industry. So which one are you connected to the most? Which one do you love the most?
Okay.
You said you don't love network marketing. If you did, that's the angle.
Well, what's funny is I don't love that part of network marketing, and that's what it is. Like, that's what's driven me away from it, is all of those things that come along with that industry that I see.
Well, then be the person who, be the lighthouse in the darkness. Be the person. That's what, if you love network marketing and you love the products that you're selling and you love the companies and you would recommend the products and services to your mom because they are actually great and you use them, and the only problem is that people are comparing themselves and making each other feel guilty and living in shame, then be the change. And then you start attracting downlines who are in love with your mission. And then you train them and you help them and you coach them. So if you love helping women and coaching women, it's like you're not necessarily being a coach, but you're a leader.
Right.
And by helping those women who join you feel less guilt, feel less shame, feel less insecurity, feel less comparison, feel less judgment towards themselves as well as other people, you're turning them into better entrepreneurs inside your organization, but what you're really doing is turning them into better humans based off of all of the lessons and struggles that you went through. You're now making that path a little bit easier for other people. So this is it. Like, instead of running away from the industry because you don't like how it, did we lose her? Oh, she's done it. You put your hand down and like you switch somewhere else on the screen.
That's funny.
Instead of running away from the industry because you don't like it, you go in and you change the industry. That's what leaders do. The section in the book about Be the Tree.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember that, but that's it. Like, that's what you're trying to do. And then now imagine a world. This is the Mary Kay Ash story too.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
I mean, Mary Kay Ash
Yes, she
Was-
was powerful.
looked over, passed over, trained the guy underneath her who then becomes her boss, is being told that you're just thinking like a woman, you know, and never gets promoted. And so she goes and she writes a guide for how women can succeed in corporate America. And instead of just releasing it as a book, she says, I'm just gonna go build that company. I'm gonna create the company that we can all succeed at together. Which also happens to be network marketing. So it's a good, little fit. So Monique can be the modern day Mary Kay Ash. But that's it, is like, you see an injustice, and she quit. She left. She was at one business and then left to go to the other business and then left and was done with the industry. Not too far off from where you're at. Like, I'm done with the industry because of how bad it is. And then she came back and said, no, I'm going to change the way that it's done. And so it doesn't mean you have to go start a whole new company, but if there's a company that you like, or you have a leadership team that you like, and it's just the industry is kind of tainted, and you're tired of these people around you, like you then build up a new version of it. And if you said, hey, I want to help ambitious, kick-ass women build their own company underneath and get mentorship and guidance to have more confidence, to stop living in shame, and to go actually build something you can be proud of, join my team. I'll help you. That's a way better pitch and value than here's another network marketing company and the typical training that people get. And then it's on you to actually be the leader, right? To be the mentor. Most network marketing falls apart because the leadership sucks. Your upline sucks. Like, if you have a crappy upline, you got no support. You're going to be the person who actually gives support, who trains, where people actually love to show up, not just because you're giving them sales tactics or pushing them on their quota for this month, but because you're helping build leaders in the organization. And so you're taking all the things that you struggled with and felt yourself, and now just applying it to help these women grow inside a business. It doesn't mean you have to go be a life coach, but you are a life coach,
I get it.
inside the thing that you love doing.
Okay.
Cool. That was a fun little session. Okay, guys, I am 2 minutes late. I gotta run. We will see you again next week. Monique, amazing to have you here. And over to Zen, the man, the Built to Serve coach. Let's go. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, Zen, you're muted real quick. You're muted. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, thank you, Evan.
Hey, there we go. Okay.
Thank you. Perfect. Monique, that was amazing. Wow. Great group here, great group. All right, guys, talk to me. You got me for like another 27 minutes. We're going to go to the top of the hour. Anything, man, anybody, talk to me. You know me, I'm going to call on you. So you guys are all looking great. Is that Tess? Is Tess, you about to say something, Tess? Tess, you have to unmute. Unmute. We're waiting.
Okay, here I am.
Woohoo! Talk to me, Tess. Tess, you get me up way too early. You get me up way too early in the morning. You know that, right?
I know I do this. Thank you for coming, Mama. Okay. That is a lovely kiss, one of those. It was great. But because of you, I teased you yesterday. And 2 people asked me a question.
Okay.
And they sent something to me, and I had to respond.
Okay.
So this was it takes 5 minutes, so you have to give me this 5 minutes.
Let's go.
So the question was to me was I replied this way. Your question to me was, why do you write every day? And I said, my answer to you is, we are all born to write. So I said, it is 11:30 a.m., July 22nd, sitting on the front porch which faces southeast. This means the sun is moving west, and it is still blazing strongly on the huge rose bush which has decided to take over the entire front lawn. A cool, soft, enchanting wind is caressing the back of my neck as I sit facing north Brighton. Directly in front of me is a brick wall that is attached to the garage. They say the color and the pattern is called angel stone. Why angel stone? I wonder who chose the name for this subway style brick. 3 hanging baskets are swinging in the wind to the tune of the chimes. I check the basket, and yes, they do need watering. I'll get to them as soon as I am done writing. I write every day because I have 2 reasons for writing. 1, I believe we all have a right to write. And 2nd, I know also for sure that we're all born to write. You see, we have things to say. Somewhere along the journey of life, mainly in school, the teacher always told us we were good writers or not good writers. We were asked to stay on point. Where is your introduction, they said. Where is the middle and where is the climax? This meant that we had to write to suit that teacher, and for the entire semester, the teacher would pound on those 3 things. And when you got the climax right, you were told it was not powerful enough. You see, we're all born to write, and we can all write. And we all have something to say, and the best way to say it is to write it. What I'm saying is, if you want to write, then write. It does not have to have a strict beginning, a middle, or an end. It does not have to flow. It has to be from you, all of you. It has to be from inside of you, about you, where you are, where you're going, what you're doing, and when you get there, who are you going to be with, and why? Why you are where you are. Then say why. Why do you feel you have something to share? Then share it and let it loose. Keeping it inside of you is not making room for the rest of it to come flowing from you. You see, you were born to write. Tell me why. You know you are sensuous, you're fabulous, you're vivacious. I believe it is a luxury to be in the mood to write. You're never in the mood to write. It is a blessing, it's a gift, but it's not a necessity. You see, writing is like breathing. It is possible to learn to do it well, but the point is to do it no matter what. This took 15 minutes, including reading it once over. The grammar needs correction, the spelling is terrible, and of course, punctuation does not exist. There is someone who could take this, labor over it, call me back to ask me what I really wanted to say here or there, then ask me to rewrite the entire thing. What they don't know is that I have already left that part of the journey. I got it out, and it felt good getting it out. So why do I write? Because I love to let my imagination loose on words, simple words. I love to write, and I have no idea why. Start by telling me where you are.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's what
Go
you.
Tess. That was amazing.
Okay,
Very.
so is that for me now?
That's just for you. Because
Okay.
they got so upset. Why are you teasing Zion about writing? And
No,
it's
writing.
easy to write.
That's-
Just write.
I think what you're saying is so critically important. I think writing is everything. Every single morning I write. And here's the reason why. And I love everything that you said. So I just want to piggyback off what you just said. For me, writing is why we are here. Think about this for a minute. Writing is thinking. You cannot write unless you think. Writing
You don't
is
have to think.
writing. Okay. Writing is an expression of your soul, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. If you think about all the great things that we enjoy in the world, they were first written down. Even, if you believe in God, he wanted to communicate to man and women. And what did he do? He put his words
This
in.
calls to take off sunglasses, man. I disagree with you.
Okay. But it's in the Bible.
No.
Okay. But follow me for
When you write, you cannot look for it. Just go. Let it go.
I know.
It's like going to the washroom. You don't decide when. You just have to go.
Right, but let me
So
finish.
go.
This is great. Test.
I am not letting you off. I've been listening. I need it. I need that paragraph. You
Okay.
promised me a chapter. I'm waiting for 11 months. It's worse than, I'm not an elephant.
Oh, you
All
talking about
elephants
something?
have a pregnancy for 11 months. I've been waiting to birth that chapter for 11 months, and I'm not an elephant.
Can I
Cross
finish?
point.
Can I finish? Test?
No, I need my chapter.
Okay. Can I
Give
finish?
it to me. Yeah, finish.
You're not going to finish anyway. But listen, all the great works in the world that we live in, from Plato, Aristotle, you name it, it was all first written. All plays are written first before they are performed. All movies, we call it a script. I mean, you can look at everything in life is first written down.
So
And
where are you
again,
going with this? Take me there. I cannot wait.
I'm going back to what you were saying about why writing and the purpose of writing.
Just write.
Okay.
You're looking for perfection. I know you enough to know
I
that.
don't know what we're talking about now, Tess.
I want you to write and give it to me. You keep telling me you're writing this thing, and I have been thirsty, and you're not quenching my thirst.
Okay. All right. Well, just drink some water like I'm drinking here, Tess.
Forgot my water.
Just drink some water.
I'm teasing you, but the point is,
Drink some water. And I'm going to go to the next person. I'm going to go. Thank you so much, Tess. I'm going to go to the next person. Next person, got a question out there? Anybody else?
it's not to go back to Tess.
No, we're not going back to Tess. We got enough. We have enough. Tess is the best, but now we're going to go to the rest.
Oh, he can rhyme, so he can write.
Because I wrote it first. Anyway,
That's the creative side of it. So think about it like this. Writing is the very first form of creative expression.
communication, yeah.
It is creative expression because the first way in which we expressed ourselves was through hand signals, you know what I'm saying, arm signals.
It's also
voice
how we record
signals,
scripts.
written signals. So
Yeah.
express yourself through the art of the written word, and that is powerful as well too. Because think about it like this: different people consume different things differently, or express different things differently. So when you write things, when you say things, when you sing things, they all connect in a different way. You know, that's the reason why dancing is a form of body expression, and that speaks volumes as well too. So think about it. It's all a form of expression, and how you express yourself will connect with different people in a different way. Think about it like this: inflection. So inflection is the rise and fall in the pitch and tone of your voice. How you inflect is how you reflect.
Wait, say that again?
Okay? How you inflect is
You
how
got
you
it.
reflect.
Wait. How you inflect is how you
Or
reflect?
you reflect, yes.
Absolutely.
Very good, Terry. I love that. All right. Next. Now we're moving on. We're moving past writing to somebody have a written question they want to ask me. We have a lot of people here. We got Terry. Thank you, Terry. Tessa. We got the two T's in the house. We got my man Fernando. If you want to talk, we got Mary, of course. Joey. Okay, talk to me, Fernando.
Training side here.
How are you?
I'm Joy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a little muffled, but we can hear you. We'll make it out.
Right. Yeah. So I'm training side here. I think. Can you hear me?
Keep going. We're gonna try to make it out. It's a little muffled.
All right. Yeah. I'm going side here. I think
Something about
if you
5
write your
years.
book. I don't know where my mic is now.
Something about 5 years.
Right there. I think I heard you say the word mic.
Yeah, I can hear you. It sounded like you said something about a book, but once again, go ahead and ask that question again.
Or maybe type it in.
All right. I just typed it in.
Okay. And then we'll come back to you. We'll come back. I'll make sure we come back and address you before I leave. Okay. Anybody else? We got Donna in the house. Andrea. We know Powers. Lady Lexi. Joi Lake. Anybody? Talk to me while I start calling on you, Monique. We got anybody? Monique, you can do a follow-up if you want to. I love it, Evan. Well, Evan.
I can talk to you, but I don't have any questions.
Okay. Want to say hi to everybody?
Hello, everybody.
I love this group. This is a great group. Okay.
But I did go sit at a restaurant and reread the book again today.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What section did you read the whole thing, or what section did you zero in on?
Well, I didn't have time to read the whole thing, but hang on.
And Tess, by the way, Fernando says he would like a copy of your text of what you read earlier.
Oh, gee.
Fernando, he wants a copy.
It's in the computer. I have to get it on.
Okay, go ahead, Lady Lexi. What section did you reread again?
I'll send it to you.
I went through the who again and the why and all the stuff, and it's funny because I remember that we were talking about it like in January this year. It's good to go over it again and read it again and see. Oh, okay, yeah, this makes sense, and this is a little bit changed, and so it's good. You know, I'm really working on those courses and the whole speaking out thing, and it's nice to see that it all indeed integrates together.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Lady Lexi. Okay. So Fernando is saying, "Hey, Tess, where you going? This is about you. This is about you."
It's going to rain. I have to cover something in the pergola.
Okay.
I'll say. I was just going to the black garden.
Okay, for now, I'll say real quick. Fernando says, I'm backing up Tesla here, Smile. You have to write your book. I guess he's talking about me, or maybe he's talking about you. If you want, we can get your recording transcribed as your first chapter. But she has 2 books. You talking about her or me, Fernando?
Zan, we're talking
or me.
Zan.
Okay. So what Tess is talking about? Listen to the. I'm gonna see if I don't want the spotlight on me. Look, what Tess is talking about. It was a conversation we had almost a year ago, right, Tess? So what happens? No, whatever. What happens is that when you have a coach, your coach may ask you to reprioritize things and go in a different direction. Not that it's not going to get done, but when you have a coach. What's the point of having a coach if you're not going to listen to
Praise the Lord, I have 6 brothers. I know where you're coming from.
Wait. My coach asked me not to. Anyway, let me say, sometimes I have to when you follow your success journey, you have to reprioritize things. So, not that the book is not coming, but right now for me, coaching is the most important thing. Okay? So, Tess, if that help you better. But if you want the book written so bad, Tess, write it yourself. I get there when I get there. So I hope that helps you too, Fernando. I have my own goals, my own vision, and I do things at my own timing. At the time it needs to be done. Okay?
Good plan.
So hope we put that issue to bed. All right, next. Anybody else?
I'll go.
Hello, Donna. How are you?
Hi, Sam. Good.
Yeah. Get the focus off me.
Okay.
Yes, I love it.
So I am praying.
How can we serve you?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, awesome. So I believe in entrepreneurship, but the part I love is the creative part. I have this vision of myself as an entrepreneur, as a business person, but I am severely lacking the skill set of administration, business planning, all of those things, and not passionate about it. I believe in it exceptionally. I love it, but the nuts and bolts of it is, I've been pushing this rock uphill for too long. And so ideally what I would love is to have somebody partner with me who loves that stuff, but believes in, the shared vision, what we're doing, and allow me to be the creative. And but I'm not even sure how to begin. That's why I begin with prayer, because there's got to be a creative way out there. And I've pursued some relationships, but it didn't happen yet. So I really need to find somebody who's driven and who's strong in the administration, who's willing to partner with me, because I don't have the resources at this point at the very beginning to hire somebody like that. Or even if I did need to hire somebody for small jobs that I don't want to develop skill sets in, like who should I bring on first just to get this momentum going downhill instead of going uphill like Sisyphus.
What type of business is it?
So it's basically helping people with social emotional learning, but I'm focusing on married couples in the States.
That's a good
we talked a little bit last week about my date nights.
Yeah.
Divine dates. So and with the focus on productive conflict.
I remember, you're in a good business. You're in a very good business.
Needed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And happiness.
Yeah. And misunderstanding and miscommunication, the whole night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I was saying right now up the top, you already answered your question. You do need to find someone else who's passionate about that end of it. While you're the creative person, they can be quote unquote like the technical person, or the person who does all the administrative work, the work that you don't like. Because if you do the work you don't like, you're not going to do it well. And
it's not been happening, and it doesn't happen.
And you're not even going to be driven to do it. You're not going to be inspired to do it. You're going to hate it. And you may almost hate the business. Okay, so let me see. How we doing on time? Okay, cool. Let me get straight to it. So I got two great suggestions for you. Maybe three. Okay, number one, I know coaching, for me, everything defaults to coaching. The right coach will help kind of guide you and lead you into that, but let's put coaching to the side for a minute. Find the right community to be a part of, because when you're in the right community, you're going to meet other people, and you may find someone who's at the exact same situation you're in and found the solution to it, and you might be able to use that person or that person to help guide you to someone else that's similar to doing that. Number two, community. We're coaching community. What Evan was saying earlier about Upwork.
Yeah.
There are independent, even I don't know. Yeah, they have services on Fiverr. There are independent places out there that can fulfill that order. Now, when it comes to the money part, try to do a trade-off. Try to, explain to them the vision, what you're really doing, and see if there's some type of bartering or trade-off or partnership you guys can have. But the partnership is still, when the money starts coming in, I strongly suggest clearly defined goals and a contract.
Yeah.
When money comes into play, I would say just even that's going to be intellectual property in play also. I still will have people sign contracts and confidentiality agreements, because the business that you're in, it's so customized and personalized. It's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
No, I think that's good, and like tapping into people in the industry.
Yeah, because
to see how they navigated
that. Because you're not the only one. You're not the only one that has that same issue. There's got to be other people that's in the industry that has that same issue, and they found a solution. So why reinvent the wheel? Let's find out someone who solved that problem and modeled their success.
Yeah, and it's a good reminder with the contracts, because that's exactly where my mind tends to overlook. I get it, but I'm like, I just want this, partner who, trustworthy. That you gotta keep it clear. The boundaries. You gotta keep the boundaries.
Yeah, the world we live in, you have to trust but verify.
For everybody, it just protects the relationship better.
And I'm a big believer in trust but verify, qualify, and then certify. Even if they look like everything's great on paper, qualify them, meaning test them out. It goes back to what Evan said earlier. When he hires someone on Upwork, before you actually hire them, you get them a project to do and see if you really know what you're doing. Before we say, okay, yes, we'll bring you on. It's an old school method that the automobile companies like Ford and GM, they would bring you on after you fill out the application and everything else. They'll bring you on and they will give you any benefits for 90 days. Mm-hmm. Before all that kicks in. So they tested you out first. They qualified before they certified you. So, okay, now you are approved for all the benefits. I don't think they do that anymore now, but still, in our own practice, we have to, instead of getting so excited and emotional about things, we have to verify, qualify, certify.
Yeah. And I like his process of vetting people, and getting people who believe in the vision. I mean, that's really key, because not just to do the work, but actually believe in the work is really key, because it comes through.
Yeah, and the percentages of you finding people who are like that, who's already going to be in like-minded, it's going to be in that community. They're already like-minded. They're already thinking that way. So that's why they're there. Yeah. And there's a lot of different communities out there. Even Facebook groups. I mean, there's people out there. But you're right. Don't you take it on yourself. You take it on yourself.
Thank you.
That's a headache. That's a headache you don't want. That is just.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're gonna. It's gonna make
just more confirmation. Thank you.
So I hope that serves you, guys. We still got. Is that good? Are you okay?
Thank you.
Now?
Yes, I'm good. Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you. So we still okay, Monique. You want to chime in again?
Yeah. So I've been kind of thinking through his answer, and the thing is, I don't think I want to stay in network marketing. So that's, I think, my conundrum is that I love the industry, but I don't want to stay in the industry. So I feel like I've been pigeonholed into it. And I'm also in a company where there is a lot of top leadership. So it isn't that there isn't a lot of training programs and things like that. We have like some of the best leaders in the entire industry. Okay. Some of the biggest trainers in the industry in our actual company. So I don't feel like that's something that being where I am within that company and not have been passionate for the last 2 years.
Okay.
I don't feel like that's something I could segue in, and I don't really want to go searching for a new company that.
Okay. So let's see how this lands for you. Okay. So I'm gonna piggyback off what Evan said. Network marketing is a vehicle, right? So if you want to get from here to Terry, where you live at again?
Virginia.
Okay, you want to get from wherever you at to Virginia. Hopefully you're not in Virginia. You have a choice. You can walk, you can run, you can take a train, a plane. It's so many different. You still want to get there, right? It's a different vehicle. So network marketing is a vehicle, maybe a vehicle for success. But you're still you. No matter whether you drive or fly, you're still the person that's getting in that vehicle to get there. So I want to go back to that part. You still who you are. You still the person that wants to share. You still the person that wants to be transparent, authentic, believe. You're still that person. So it's just a matter of taking you and placing you into the right vehicle.
That's what That's what I'm literally asking. Like, I cannot get clarity on what the vehicle should be.
Right, and that's a process. We can't just come up with that in 1 minute. And because when I was listening to your story, I was thinking to myself, same thing what Evan was saying. And he said, I don't want to do coaching. Okay, fine. Okay, what else can you do besides that's not coaching, but maybe coaching's cousin? And I was thinking about being a guide, being a community leader, a supporter, instead of being a storyteller, be a story sharer.
So that's where the podcast has come in for me, because I feel like I can speak my truth, but then I can also speak other women's truth, because I think that is I could be I get story brand, I could be the guide for the hero, and the hero's really women out there struggling with all of these things that
helping them share their story
of our life.
Yeah, sharing your story, helping them share their story.
Yeah.
So that's that story sharer instead of storyteller. And so the podcast,
you have a YouTube channel.
So that puts you into a thought leader. That makes you a thought leader.
So how do you use a YouTube channel and that I'm not I have 3 videos up. I'm going to be honest, YouTube has never been something that we used a lot in network marketing, and I'm intrigued by it, but I don't even know how to utilize that kind of a platform for that. That's where I think I'm not educated enough or understand the dynamics.
We're almost running out of time. I'm gonna let a couple other people who got YouTube. We all got YouTube channels. I love to hear their ideas, but I tell you this is just for general for everything. Whenever you say I don't know something, we live in an information age, so we can't even. I'm saying this in a very loving way, Monique.
Yep.
We can't use that anymore as an excuse because Google is our friend. Everything you want to know is already out there. YouTube has everything on it. So it's just a matter of time and perspective. Whatever you want to know, I don't know how to do get on IG. There are hundreds of videos out there. How to get up for beginners, how to get on IG, how to create a YouTube channel. All the information is out there. It's just a matter of positioning our mindset. And then number two, like I was saying to Wadonna, when you join the right community, there's people that's already in that community that will hold your hand and assist you, which cuts down on your time. Like my man Terry, Lady Lexi, all the people here, if you link up with them, they're like, girl, let me show you how to do this. Click, 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 done. But you, the person, have to decide what vehicle you want to get your message out there, and you want to fulfill and serve and help people, because there's many out there. And once, I think half the battle is not knowing what you don't want to do, which is good. You don't want to do network marketing. But then when you decide what you want to do, then we got to look at how do you commoditize that and how do you monetize that. The quickest way is once you make up your mind what you want to do, or if you can't figure that out, get someone who, so you go back to coaching, they should give you some clarity on that and help guide you to figure that out. And once you have that clarity, clarity is power. Clarity is power. And once you know exactly what you want to do, my God, when you wake up different. You just wake up because you know, but then you have to take that clarity and confidence with it, and how do you turn that into a commodity and monetize it? And that's going to be a process. It's going to take time. It's not a get rich quick scheme.
No.
At least you're on a different path now. And so I know we're going to be a little bit over time, but I know Terry's got a good answer. And anybody else want to chime in to give Monique another perspective? Joey, you can also hop in too. Joy, it's Joy, not Joey, right? It's Joy.
Joy.
It's Joy, like J-O-Y, but it's spelled. So it's like rejoice. Joy.
Rejoice. I love it. So let's give Monique another voice.
My internet probably unstable, sorry.
My unstable
So I
connection.
started a podcast on anchor.fm. Oh, it's all, I typed it in chat.
Oh yeah, there it is.
So I wanted to say that I've been doing the podcast and then on YouTube. Yeah, and then on YouTube, while I'm listening to my podcast, I color on YouTube. So you can actually go to Coloring Prayer Warriors and see what I'm doing.
I really didn't
So,
talk that
Monique,
slow.
if you wanted to start a podcast, but you didn't know how to put it into YouTube, I could actually take it and color to it and have it on my channel, so that then you got me praying for you while you're talking and
guys, I've got to get going. You guys should link up. Terry, you got 1 minute.
That's
doing a
horrid.
podcast is scary and you're not sure how you want to do it.
Joy, I've got to wrap up.
I'm willing to do that.
Joy, you guys need to.
I'm just letting you know.
Joy?
So if you go to Coloring, I'll type it in the chat. Coloring Prayer Warriors, you can go see and contact me there.
So I wasn't hearing Zan in real time, I guess.
1 minute piece of advice. I got to get going.
That's all.
You got one piece of advice real quick, Terry, for?
Yeah, so once again, if you want to connect directly with me, you can over at Instagram. It's Terry Wade Thompson over on Instagram. Yeah. My email is also terry@terrythompson.me. If you want to reach out to me directly, so I coach authors, entrepreneurs. So just look at it this way. There's lots of opportunity out there for you. Take action every single day. So Monique, I would love to talk to you, as well too. I have some advice for you. I know, Mary, you asked me a question. I would love to connect with you as well too. There's opportunity everywhere, every single day. Take action.
All right, guys, I got to go. I love you so much. I'm like, I'm 2 minutes past time. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. I hope that serves you, Monique. Bye, guys.
Bye, Zan. All right, so I'm going to clarify, since I'm the one who had the weird Wi-Fi. I tried getting a new cord, and it made it worse than using Wi-Fi. So my unstable connection is because I'm on Wi-Fi when I'm on a Zoom call. But this is what I was talking about, where I take the audio from somebody's podcast or YouTube or however, and I color, and while I'm coloring, I'm praying. And the colors actually represent specific prayers. So I've been praying for everybody who's in my group and praying that whatever their challenge is, that they would be able to get clarity on it. And if you would like me to color and pray to your sound, your audio, I'm willing to do that, and you can reach out to me. I have coloringprayerwarriors@gmail.com, and that's probably the fastest and easiest way to get a hold of me, since I'm busy and I forget to check my social media stuff. But anyway, let me pray for you guys so you can hear me pray also. Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for this time. Thank you for each person that was in this Zoom call. Thank you for Evan and Zan, who lead us and who give us such great advice and are just willing to serve us. I thank you that you love us and that it really matters to you, God, that we succeed and that we are doing what you want us to do, and that we just really want to find what we're supposed to be doing, God. Pray that you would lead us and that you will help us find the people that we need to find so that we can serve each other better. I thank you for this time. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.